Nigeria is bleeding. Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are crying. Depression is increasing in the land. And the question asked silently, and some few outside is leaders, why? Somebody asks, who hates Nigeria? Who is doing this to us? From every segment, you can see pain reigning in the land, fear reigning in the land. Is this the land that our parents left for us? Is this the legacy they left for us? So why are things this way? Why is our situation like this? Nigeria is bleeding. We are suffering. Leaders, do you care? Enough is enough. The pain is becoming too much. Nigeria is bleeding. Survival is becoming. What do we do? Who is responsible? What is responsible? Nigeria is bleeding. Why are people suffering like this in their fatherland? This is just not another video, another presentation. It's the voice of millions of Nigeria crying for help, bleeding outside and bleeding inside. Pain from the rising cost of living to the fear of insecurity and silent frustration in every home. Something is wrong, deeply wrong. Depression is growing in the land. Let's look at the cost of living crisis. Please, if you are in Nigeria or you read about or you follow news about Nigeria, please share your comments. Why is the situation like this in the country? In a land flowing with milk and honey, blessed and favored by nature and God, why is the land bleeding? Why is suffering so much? Feeding is no longer basic. Feeding is supposed to be a basic necessity of life. It's now a luxury in many homes. Prices of food skyrocket every day. Transport fares are becoming unbearable. And the rent is choking, literally choking. The salary that used to sustain a family is now becoming very much inadequate. Parents are sacrificing their meals for their children. The children are working, the youths are working. But their salary, their income is nothing to go. By the time they spend on transport, there is little or nothing left, even for them to feed, to have their lunch in the office. Is this the Nigeria we dreamed of? Is this the Nigeria when we say that labor of our heroes shall never be in vain? Is this what our elders labored for? Is it the legacy they left for us? Let's study history. Go and Google it. Nigeria was never like this. And this is not the land we dream of. Security and fear is becoming part of our second nature. You go out, you'll be watching your back. When the night is dawning, then fear increases. This is not the Nigeria we dream of. Nigeria is bleeding. Beyond hunger, this is the great fear, palpable fear. People are afraid. In the morning, they're afraid. Afternoon, they're afraid. When they're going out, they're afraid. They come back home, they're afraid. When they're even in their home sleeping, they're afraid. You hear about so many attacks in different homes, in different parts of the country. Some of these hoodlums they call bandits, or whichever name government chooses to call them. 6 p.m., 5 a.m. They attack people even in their sleep in the homes. Is that the Nigeria that we dream of? Is that the legacy left for us by our parents? Is that what we want to leave behind for the coming generation? People are afraid to travel. Even going to work, your heart is praying, God, keep me. What is a nation when the citizens don't feel safe? When citizens cannot feed well? Even those working hard. Hard work is no more the in thing. You work hard, you have almost nothing to show for it at the end of the day, because what you get can hardly take care of two people in the family. Talk less of. That's why parents have to forgo some of their meals so that the children can have something to eat. What about the emotional reality? This is deeper than economics. That's where depression is setting in at a fast rate. The psychology is being affected. The thinking, especially for we adults. The children come of age. You say, Chukwu, John, Michael, it's time for you to marry. Won't you get married? I want to have grandchildren from you. The boy will look at him, Mom, Dad, because he can hardly what his income can hardly take care of his rent. Some families were just discussing some couple of weeks back. They said the house rent on the island was 1.5 million per annum. I think for self-contained flat, that is a room and a sitting room, just ensuite. 1.5 million. The landlord came this year and said, well, by the time your rent will be expiring in April, May, the rent will now be 5 million. What is the boy's salary? And he has to pay, or else if they have to leave the house, where will he go? And the parents are living on the mainland. Going from mainland to the island, the cost of transport is enough to drain the salary. So that's why we say the land is not supposed to be so. As far back as more than 3 decades ago, Governor Lateef Jakande of blessed memory foresaw this thing. First of all, he made sure that from the state's income, IGR, he made sure there was affordable estates in every local government in the state, and its owner-occupier basis. They know your income. From your income, you'll be paying a little bit, which will not affect your day-to-day living. So you just pay a minimal deposit, then you'll be paying a pittance, maybe 5% of your salary or 3% of your salary as repayment. And its owner-occupier, you are paying, your balance is reducing until you are, they stretch it. They know your income. And after it, maybe you pay for 10 years or 15 years. And by the time they calculate, you'll be able to pay off. And the houses, they have 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat in different, and the houses, the estates are still existing now. None of them ever had problem, or maybe structural problem, structural defect or something like that. No. So in this case, our children will have been well accommodated. Then that time, he planned what is called the metro line. Because when you travel about, you see the metro line, you can live 50 kilometers away from your place of work, where the metro line, the thing is well timed, programmed. So the transportation taken care of, housing taken care of. But that one now, our leaders are not doing that. And that's why Nigeria is bleeding. The children are working and working and sweating. And the parents are also sweating. They see the pain of the children. How do you want the boy to say, go and get married? And do what? So they are trying to balance. That's why it is becoming more psychological. The pain is becoming so much for them. Because once you get married, you have children. You'll be buying the feed, the baby formula. The children will go to, what about the miscellaneous, the medical? And the hospitals are not there. The doctors are maltreated. Equipments are not there. So you could see the pain. The Nigeria is bleeding. These children look. They wake up, when they go to work, they are looking at tomorrow and say, oh God, what is my offense? What is our offense? They will look at you and say, that was our offense. During your own time in Nigeria, was it like this? During grandpa's time, was it like this? Why is it like this in our own time? What offense have we done? Who did we offend before we came around? Those are questions I can't answer. Maybe you have answers to those questions. Please share in your comments. The pain is palpable. That is what is pushing some of them into taking substances. Because they can't answer some of the questions being asked by their parents, by the society. They say, what's wrong with you? Nothing is wrong with me, Dad. Nothing wrong with me, Mom. Nothing wrong with me, Uncle. I'm just trying to balance myself. I'm just trying to find my way. Yes, somebody suggests collecting loans. When you collect loans, I tried it one time when I was at work. They call it credit direct. They say just 3%. 3%. You don't need any collateral. Once you're a salary, just give us your code and your accounts department. They link with the accounts department of the office. They give you the loan. You know what I found out? I found out the thing was compound interest. Each time you see that by the time you pay, they say pay little, you see that the capital and the principal continue to increase. So by the time you are able to pay back, you'll be paying almost 100% interest. When I discovered this, and they say, well, if within some months, another trick, they give 1 week, 1 month moratorium. The first 1 month, you don't pay back anything. After that, you think it's comfortable. They say, well, if you can pay back everything, the capital plus interest any time, it's okay with them. That's what I have to do. When I declare that this is compounded, this loan is becoming joking. I have to look for money to pay them off. So collecting loan is not the best idea for youths that want to set up their home. So hope is slowly dying. Frustration is everywhere. And the painful part, many people are suffering in silence, smiling outside, breaking it. That's why please, and please, show consideration to people you meet on the road. You don't know what's going on. So when you talk and somebody snaps at you or somebody looks at you somehow, know that what is biting the person inside is more than you can see. It's more than what you can talk about. Everybody is carrying their own pain in their own way. That is it. And the big question, which we ask again, our leaders, why? Why is it situation this way? Nigeria is bleeding. But change begins with awareness, with our voices. Like this one now, we are crying to those in authority. Why? 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 Like the youths are asking, who did you offend? Like somebody asks, who hates Nigeria so much to be doing this to us? Please share your comments. Well, somebody said, no hope. Well, we cannot live a life that is hopeless. When there is life, there is hope. There is no problem that doesn't have a solution. Psychology and philosophy has proven that. There is no challenge that doesn't have a solution. That is why we are humans, we are creative, we are innovative. No, that's why we say Nigeria is the most happy country. We are always laughing. No, it's adaptability, but there's a limit to human endurance. Yes, we bear so many things, we endure so many things. But there's a limit to human endurance. I remember, I was just checking this afternoon, I remember a riot by the women when the colonial masters were just introducing some obnoxious taxes to the community. After taxing their husband, they now say, okay, they will not be checking how many children you have. They tax you, they tax depending on the number of children you have. They say, what kind of thing is this one? Go and check the issue of a riot in Nigeria. I think that was in 1928 or thereabout. Then there's another one to show that we can't just keep quiet. The Agbekoya riot in Western Nigeria. I think that was in 1967 or let's say 68. The issue of these multiple taxes, they were cocoa farmers. Government just saw that, well, their cocoa was helping the region that time is Western to grow. They decided to increase the taxes placed on the cocoa farmers by 400% or thereabout. Then the people send their relative to the government, say, no, this one is not workable. Then government said, then, well, tax must be paid. They don't say they won't pay tax. So that was, people had to shout, people had to talk, people had to make represent to the government and say this. Like the thing going underground now, say now, this injustice cannot stand. You cannot bleed us dry in a fight. We cannot open our eyes and see you bleeding us dry. We won't allow, we won't go down like that. So we have to speak out. We have to speak out. I was listening to a documentary. You might have heard about petroleum subsidy. Go and check it. 2011, 2012. That time, it was doing Lamido Sanusi, now the Emir of Kano. That time was CBN governor. It's one that discovered that this thing you call subsidy, they are using it to drain Nigeria, to suck Nigeria. They do what's called round tripping. They behave as if they are bringing the shipping to bring in the petroleum materials, and then they will fill the paper as if they have offloaded. They didn't offload. The same tanker will go back to the sea, spend some days in the sea, and come back again. And when they see the filling the bill of lading, they discover all these things. Who is bleeding Nigeria? Then the House of Rep was called upon. They set up a committee and they made a man, Lawan, to be the head of the committee. He called the leaders of the importing groups there, and they came and they discovered that these people had defrauded Nigeria by 1.7 trillion naira, and that was at 2012. I laugh because what they did was terrible. They now set up Lawan. Unfortunately, they said Lawan was asking for bribes so that he could remove the names of some companies from the list of those who have defrauded Nigeria. And He didn't know they were setting him up, and they now presented a video where he was pocketing dollars that he was given into his pocket. I don't know how he did that. And that is how they blocked the whole thing, and the problem of subsidies subsists till now. On Saturday, I got petrol was 1,230 per liter. I went out today. It had become 1,320 per liter. Isn't it interesting? Nigeria is bleeding, and this is affecting transportation, cost of feeding, because the food materials we brought with vehicles, and these vehicles have to use fuel, both diesel and petrol. So this overhead keep on. So you can see, they make sure that refinery became dead, literally dead. Well, we shall continue this discussion tomorrow by God's grace. Nigeria is bleeding. We are in pain. Depression is growing in the land. That we cannot be hopeless. We cannot raise up hand and say it is finished. You cannot be finished with us. The scriptures cannot be read. There is hope for a tree when it's cut down. With the scent and smell of water, it will come up again. Like the song of our forefathers that were carried during slavery, say, we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome. We shall not go down like this. They will not bleed us dry. This is the beginning. Shout and talk. So when these bleeders, when these desecrators come to you, bringing whatever to you, say, vote for me. Ask them, the one we voted for, what have you done with it? Go to your community, look at the hospitals there. God. Some months back, somebody showed video of a federal hospital in Abuja, federal capital. You cannot believe the state of the hospital. It's saddening. It's heartbreaking. Federal capital. And we have federal ministry of health, we have minister for health, we have, oh God. Thank you for reflecting with me. Remember, share your comments. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. There is hope for us. I'm telling you, there is hope for us. I was born in Nigeria. I know Nigeria. I know we are made of better stuff. Like James Ugugi said, weep not my child, weep not my darling. The raging cloud. But we said, with these kisses, let me dry your tears. So with these words, receive hope, receive strength, that tomorrow will be better. Don't give up. It's not over, and it will not be over. Your story will be sweet. You still sing a new song. Don't let me talk about the yesteryear's legacy left us by our forefathers. When last was Independence Day celebrated as it's supposed to be? Now, in US, they celebrate Thanksgiving every year. You see, we roasted turkey, everything on the table. Every family in US, even those that travel at that time, everywhere they are, they will celebrate Thanksgiving Day. How do we celebrate independence in Nigeria? We see they have desecrated even that, because it's no more independence. It is movement from colonial slavery. So thank you so much for reflecting with me once again. God bless you. Nigeria will stop bleeding. Who will stop the bleeding? You and I, with divine help. God bless you.